Good evening, Eagles fans, and welcome to another electrifying edition of your go-to NFL news report, coming to you live with all the passion and grit of Philadelphia football. Picture this, it's a crisp September night at Lincoln Financial Field, the crowd's roaring, "Fly Eagles fly," and the undefeated Eagles are ready to soar. But here's the question buzzing around the city of brotherly love. Why hasn't Saquon Barkley, one of the NFL's most explosive running backs, found his groove yet in 2025? Well, hold on to your green jerseys, because tonight we're diving into some game-changing advice from a legend that could light the spark for Philly's star running back. Let's get into it. The big news out of Philadelphia this week is that Saquon Barkley, the Eagles' powerhouse running back, has been tapping into the wisdom of none other than Adrian Peterson, a seven-time Pro Bowler and one of the greatest to ever carry the ball. Barkley's numbers through the first 3 weeks of the 2025 season, 60 yards in Week 1, 88 in Week 2, and just 46 in Week 3, totaling 194 yards, have raised some eyebrows. Compare that to last year, when he was tearing up defenses with 351 yards at this point, including a monster 147-yard performance in Week 3. So, what's going on with Saquon? And how could Peterson's advice turn things around for the 3-0 Eagles? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about what's happening on the field. The Eagles, sitting pretty at 3-0, are still one of the NFC's top dogs, but their offense hasn't quite recaptured the magic of last season's high-flying attack. For those new to the game, the running back, like Barkley, is the player who takes handoffs from the quarterback, in this case Jalen Hurts, and charges through the defensive line, a wall of massive players trying to stop him. Barkley's known for his lightning speed, jaw-dropping agility, and ability to break tackles, but defenses have been keying in on him early this season. Why? Well, word on the street, and by street, I mean the film room, is that Barkley might be giving away a subtle hint to defenders about whether the play is a run or a pass. That's where Adrian Peterson steps in with some Hall of Fame-level wisdom. Peterson, who racked up over 14,000 rushing yards in his career and once ran for 2,097 yards in a single season, told Barkley to make it all look the same. Translation: whether the Eagles are running the ball with Barkley or throwing it to stars like A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith, the setup needs to look identical to keep defenses guessing. It's like a poker player hiding their bluff. Don't let the opponent read your hand. If Barkley's stance, eyes, or body language are tipping off defenders, they can stack the box, loading up the defensive line to stop the run, making it harder for him to break free. Peterson's advice is all about deception, a critical skill in the chess match that is NFL football. Now, let's zoom out for some context. Saquon Barkley, drafted second overall by the New York Giants in 2018, came to Philly in 2024 with sky-high expectations. At Penn State, he was a human highlight reel, and in the NFL, he's been a nightmare for defenders when healthy. But injuries have been a storyline for Saquon, and this year, he's playing behind one of the league's best offensive lines, anchored by future Hall of Famer Jason Kelce, now retired but still a Philly icon, and rising star Jordan Mailata. So, why the slow start? Let's dig deeper with some analysis. Statistically, Barkley's 194 yards through 3 games isn't terrible, but it's a far cry from his 2024 pace. Last season, he was averaging 117 yards per game at this point, while this year, he's down to about 65. The Eagles' offense as a whole has been less explosive, with Jalen Hurts still finding his rhythm after a stellar 2024 campaign that saw him emerge as a dual-threat superstar. The passing game, led by A.J. Brown's acrobatic catches and Devonta Smith's slick route running, hasn't clicked consistently either. Part of this could be the growing pains of new offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, who's known for creative play calling from his days with the Cowboys. Moore's system relies on balance, mixing runs and passes to keep defenses off kilter, but if Barkley's tells are giving away the game plan, it's like showing your playbook to the opponent. Let's talk tactics. The Eagles love their run-heavy approach, a nod to Philly's blue-collar grit. They use a mix of zone runs, where Barkley picks his lane based on the defense's movement, and power runs, where the offensive line, including studs like Lane Johnson, bulldozes a path. But if defenses know when a run is coming, they can blitz or stack the box, clogging those lanes. Peterson's advice could be a game-changer here. By making his pre-snap movements identical for runs and passes, Barkley can freeze linebackers and safeties, giving Hurts more time to read the defense or opening cutback lanes for those signature Saquon spin moves. Imagine this: Barkley takes a handoff, jukes a linebacker, and bolts 40 yards for a touchdown, sending the link into a frenzy. That's the potential we're talking about. To get a sense of the bigger picture, let's look at the Eagles' history. Philadelphia's running game has always been a point of pride, from the days of LaShawn Shady McCoy dancing through defenses to Brian Westbrook's all-purpose brilliance. The 2017 Super Bowl run, culminating in that unforgettable 41-33 victory over the Patriots, leaned on a balanced attack with Corey Clement and LeGarrette Blount. Fast forward to 2025, and the Eagles are chasing that same formula. A stout defense, led by Haason Reddick and Jalen Carter, paired with an offense that can grind on the ground and strike through the air. Barkley's role is pivotal. He's not just a runner but a safety valve for Hurts in the passing game, catching screens and checkdowns to keep drives alive. Let's have some fun with a fictional twist. Imagine we caught up with Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni after practice. "Look, Saquon's a superstar," Sirianni might say, chomping on his gum with that classic Philly intensity. "He's taking advice from the best, like Adrian Peterson, and he's putting in the work. We're tweaking the game plan, and you're gonna see him break out soon. This city deserves it." Or picture a die-hard Eagles fan, Joey from South Philly, tailgating outside the Link. "Yo, Saquon's got this. He's got that dog in him, just like Brian Dawkins. Once he fools those linebackers, it's over. Touchdown City, baby." These are the voices of Philly, passionate, loyal, and always ready for a big play. So, what does this mean for the rest of the season? The Eagles' 3-0 start puts them atop the NFC East, but the division is a gauntlet. The Dallas Cowboys, with their flashy offense, and the New York Giants, always a thorn in Philly's side, are lurking. The Washington Commanders, led by rookie sensation Jaden Daniels, are no pushovers either. For the Eagles to lock up the division and make a deep playoff run, Barkley needs to be the engine. If he can implement Peterson's advice, we could see him return to his 2024 form, when he racked up over 1,400 yards and earned Pro Bowl honors. A breakout game, say 150 yards and 2 touchdowns against a rival like the Cowboys, could ignite the offense and send a message to the NFC. Let's sprinkle in some Eagles trivia for the fans. Did you know the "Fly Eagles Fly" fight song, belted out after every touchdown, was written in 1958? Or that the Eagles' 2017 Super Bowl win made them the only NFL team to beat Tom Brady in the big game during his Patriots dynasty? Philly's football legacy is rich, from Reggie White's bone-crushing sacks to Donovan McNabb's clutch scrambles. Barkley's chasing that same immortality, and with a little help from Peterson, he might just etch his name in Eagles lore. Pop culture connection. Think of Barkley as the Rocky Balboa of the NFL. Gritty, resilient, and ready to go the distance. Just like Rocky trained on the steps of the Philadelphia Museum of Art, Saquon's grinding in the film room, studying legends like Peterson to take his game to the next level. And with the 2025 season heating up, the Eagles are like a blockbuster movie building toward a thrilling climax. Will Barkley deliver the knockout punch? Looking ahead, the Eagles face a tough stretch, with matchups against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs looming. These are playoff-caliber teams, and Barkley's ability to keep defenses honest will be crucial. If he can average 100 yards per game and add a few receiving touchdowns, Philly's offense could hit its stride just in time for a postseason push. Experts around the league are optimistic. Picture an ESPN analyst saying, "Barkley's too talented, and that Eagles O-line is a machine. Once they sync up, watch out." The numbers back it up. Philly's offensive line ranked top 5 in run blocking last year, and with Moore's play calling, they could dominate again. As we wrap up, let's get fired up, Eagles fans. Saquon Barkley's got the talent, the coaching, and now the advice from a legend like Adrian Peterson. The pieces are in place for a breakout, and when it happens, Lincoln Financial Field will erupt. So, grab your jerseys, crank up Sweet Caroline for the 7th inning stretch vibe, and get ready for the next game. Will Saquon explode for a monster performance? Can the Eagles keep their undefeated streak alive? Tune in this Sunday, and let's find out together. Fly, Eagles, fly!